Welcome back, coin lovers and collectors. In today's video, we'll be exploring one of the most familiar and beloved pieces of Australian coinage, the 1980 Australian 20-cent coin. This coin might look simple at first glance, but it's a piece rich with artistry, history, and symbolism. From its flowing design to its cultural significance, the 20-cent coin from 1980 tells a quiet story of Australia's identity, one forged through creativity, craftsmanship, and national pride. So, sit back, relax, and let's dive deep into the world of this classic Australian coin, learning about its design, minting, composition, and collector value today. Historical context: Australia's decimal heritage. To truly appreciate the 1980 Australian 20-cent coin, we need to go back to 1966, when Australia took a major step forward by introducing its decimal currency system. This was a historic move, replacing the old British-based pounds, shillings, and pence system with dollars and cents. The change wasn't only about modernizing the economy, it was also an opportunity to create a fresh and distinctive national coinage that reflected the spirit and character of Australia itself. Every denomination in the new system featured a design inspired by the country's unique wildlife or cultural icons. The 20-cent coin, in particular, captured something truly special: the fluid grace of one of Australia's most beloved animals, the platypus. Fast forward to 1980, and this same design continued to be struck, a timeless image that had already become a household sight for over a decade. It was a coin that represented not just money, but identity. Obverse design: Queen Elizabeth II. Let's start with the obverse side, or the front of the coin. The obverse of the 1980 20-cent coin features a refined and elegant portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, facing to the right. This particular effigy was created by Arnold Machin, a renowned British sculptor who was also responsible for the Queen's portrait on British decimal coins of the same period. In this depiction, Her Majesty wears the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most iconic pieces of jewelry. The portrait exudes youth, calmness, and dignity, qualities that symbolize stability and continuity. Around the portrait are the inscriptions Elizabeth II on the left and Australia 1980 on the right. The design is simple yet regal, giving the coin an air of refinement that complements its flowing reverse design beautifully. Reverse design: the platypus. Now, let's turn our attention to the reverse side, where we find one of the most iconic Australian coin designs ever created. The reverse features a platypus swimming gracefully through rippling water, surrounded by soft waves that seem to flow right across the coin's surface. This stunning and dynamic design was created by Stuart Devlin, the master goldsmith and artist responsible for designing all of Australia's original decimal coins in 1966. The platypus is one of the most remarkable animals in the world, a semi-aquatic mammal native only to Australia, with its duck-like bill, webbed feet, and beaver-like tail. It's a symbol of Australia's uniqueness and mystery, representing how different and special the continent's wildlife truly is. Devlin's artistry captures both motion and tranquility. The platypus glides through water that seems alive, its body surrounded by waves that symbolize Australia's rivers and natural harmony. Above the animal, the large numeral 20 boldly marks the denomination. It's a design that has stood the test of time, modern, fluid, and distinctly Australian. Specifications and composition: the 1980 Australian 20-cent coin was struck in cupronickel, an alloy made of 75% copper and 25% nickel. It has a diameter of 28.52 millimeters, a weight of 11.31 grams, and a milled edge. The coin's silver-gray tone and metallic shine come from the nickel content, which also helps it resist corrosion over time. Even after decades, many 1980 20-cent coins still maintain their bright luster and durability. The Royal Australian Mint in Canberra was responsible for producing this year's issue, maintaining exceptional quality standards as it had done since the beginning of the decimal series. Mintage and distribution: in 1980, approximately 76.3 million 20-cent coins were produced for circulation. That's quite a large number, meaning the 1980 issue is relatively common compared to some other years. However, condition plays a major role in value. Coins that have seen heavy circulation show wear around the Queen's portrait and the finer lines of the platypus and water ripples. But well-preserved examples, especially those with strong details and full mint luster, are much more desirable to collectors today. Proof versions of the 1980 coin were also minted as part of collector sets, featuring mirror-like backgrounds and frosted designs. These are far rarer and highly valued among numismatists. Circulation and role in everyday life. During the late 1970s and early 1980s, the 20-cent coin was a cornerstone of everyday Australian commerce. It was used for bus fares, lunches, parking meters, and phone calls. Everyone carried them, jingling in pockets, stacked in tills, or tucked into coin purses. Its size and weight gave it a solid, trustworthy feel, and its familiar design became instantly recognizable to every Australian. The 20-cent coin also held real purchasing power during that time, far more than it does today, which makes it a fascinating glimpse into the economic history of the era. Collector value and interest. So, how much is a 1980 Australian 20-cent coin worth today? In average circulated condition, most examples are worth around face value, since millions were made and they remain relatively easy to find. However, uncirculated coins, especially those with bright, original mint luster and no signs of wear, can sell for $3 to $5 Australian dollars, depending on quality. Coins from official proof or mint sets can be worth more, typically ranging between $10 and $20 AUD. As always, error coins, such as those with off-center strikes, die cracks, or misaligned designs, can be worth significantly more depending on the rarity and visibility of the error. For collectors, the 1980 issue represents a classic, easily recognizable design, one that connects deeply to Australia's natural and cultural story. Symbolism and design legacy. What makes the 1980 20-cent coin stand out isn't just its appearance, but what it represents. The platypus embodies Australia's distinctiveness, a creature so unusual that early European scientists once thought it was a hoax. Yet, it's one of the most beloved symbols of the nation, representing adaptability, individuality, and harmony with nature. Stuart Devlin's ability to convey that motion and symbolism on a small metallic surface is nothing short of artistic genius. His designs gave Australian coins their soul, connecting the practical purpose of money with the deeper values of national identity and pride. That's why even today, decades later, the 20-cent coin design remains largely unchanged. It has become a permanent symbol of Australia's post-decimal heritage. Final thoughts. Reflection. The 1980 Australian 20-cent coin is more than just a piece of metal. It's a reflection of a nation's creativity, craftsmanship, and spirit. From Queen Elizabeth's dignified portrait to the beautifully detailed platypus, every feature of this coin tells a story about Australia's past and its people.